Are you having trouble taking action? You know that you should do something, but you can't do it? I watched this video, and I want to tell you about it. My friend shared this on her Instagram, and I used it for something, and my other friend used it. It's already helped us both, so you should try this. Think about how many times that you want to do something, but you're like, oh, I just don't have the motivation. I don't feel like it right now. This woman's point was that you'll never have the motivation. Motivation just doesn't work. The human brain doesn't work that way. What she was saying is that actually the human brain is designed to do the opposite. As soon as you don't do something, then all these fears, doubts, questions kick in. All these things trying to protect you from what you're afraid of doing. So the key is you just gotta act fast. When you know you should do something, don't sit around waiting for motivation. Just do it immediately. You know I should do this? Get up and do it. And if you have trouble, this is a little technique that she uses to just force herself to do things and stop thinking about it. Let the fearful brain kick in. And this trick is kind of dumb. It sounds silly, but just try it. Count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then do the thing that you're supposed to do. Counting backwards like interrupts these patterns in your brain that tries to stop you from what you should do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exactly 10 years ago, I was offered a platform to express myself in a public forum to an audience. And they gave me a hell of a lot more than 280 characters. That platform was known simply as MySpace. 2017 is another year where I would continue to commemorate the very same platform that got me here. Because without the motivation that I received to express myself back then, I wouldn't have the courage to publicly speak out now and take action, just like I've done in previous years, and just like I will continue to do until we as a collective society can place this forefounding social network in higher regard. When you attack, criticize, and shame MySpace, what you're really doing is you're carelessly harassing me. A guy you probably don't even recognize from my little known presence on social media. In this day and age where corporations and influential public figures are pushing for an end to cyberbullying, the never-ending criticisms that MySpace, and as a result myself, receive on a daily basis are from the biggest cyberbullies of them all. You know who you are. The ones that do harm without even realizing it. You want me to make me feel like less of a person because I still proudly and frequently visit MySpace for the majority of my internet use. The thought that goes into these shameless remarks is that you all think you're doing me a favor by trying to push me off of MySpace, but what you're really doing is doubting any chance that MySpace could have in turning around and making one of the most unexpected comebacks this World Wide Web has ever witnessed. But at the same time, I hate calling it a comeback, because to me personally, MySpace is as vital, if not more vital to my life now as it was in 2007.
So I'm making a commitment right now to keep making these stories and trying to add some positivity to your life every day and not get hit by cars. Whoa! So, what can I tell you today? Well, do you feel like you're walking backwards in life sometimes? Like you're not achieving what you want? You're not doing the things you know you should do? So if you've not been achieving what you want, doing what you want, try this. Maybe you're feeling sad, sorry for yourself, try this. Stop focusing on yourself and try to help your friends with what they want. So just do this experiment for me, okay? Ask your friends what they need help with and help them. Do it for a couple of days. Try it for a week and tell me what happens in your life. I think the same thing that happened to me will happen to you. You'll be amazed. It's like you work out for your body, don't you? You lift weights, you come to the gym, you do that for your body. This is a workout for the mind, the soul, and the heart. Just give it a try and see what happens. Trust me.
MySpace's thriving existence and the judgment that we as a people pass to it is why I take a year's worth of built-up frustration and continuously put myself out there in the form of these amateur-looking videos. The ingredients of this year-long disgruntlement are made up of a combination of both the individuals who openly insult MySpace and the people that continue providing sustainability for the website, from the point of view of its engineering team, to its journalists, to the artistically creative types of musical and photography backgrounds, and every single living soul that makes MySpace what it is today that have done you no wrong. I take a year's worth of that from both sides of the aisle and use it as fuel to hold those accountable for their actions. MySpace as a standalone website has been used as a platform to publicize real news articles long before it became the trendy thing to do in social media. With its partnership with Time Inc., articles from Time Magazine, Entertainment Weekly, People Magazine, etc., and in addition to it being owned and operated by Viant Inc., a premier people-based advertising technology company, I can be assured that fake news articles and fake news advertisements will never invade my social space. I can rest easy, sit back, and watch the brand of that book of faces take a significant hit due to problems that I as a MySpace user will never relate to. To the viewers of this video, I ask you this one question. Which direction seems more trustworthy? The one that receives unfair judgment from people who themselves are more irrelevant than what they claim MySpace to be? Or the one where they take their irrelevance and to no end continue to broadcast it to Facebook, a social media website that has dealt with a flaming pile of scrutiny since the 2016 election? No matter how you view MySpace, just know that I will always do my part to defend its character against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Some may feel that advocating for MySpace is like taking a step backwards. Do I really have a legitimate reason to be so passionate for a website that if it were a movie would receive a 0% ratings from critics on Rotten Tomatoes due to the nature in which it's received amongst our modern day culture? Well, I have my reasons to feel complacent due to the fact that my previous videos advocating for MySpace have received the poorest excuse of discovery from the committee of viral videos. So why do I continue doing this? Because of one word and the three categories of that word. The word is happiness, and the three categories are pleasure, purpose, and pride. And like the title track of the upcoming movie Ferdinand, I am also happy to call MySpace home.
Hey, so I landed in Hawaii and I'm going to give you that book report I promised. It's an interesting book. I like it. I think you should read it. He makes a distinction in happiness that I've never heard put so clearly. And there's three kinds of happiness. The three kinds of happiness are pleasure, purpose, and pride. The three P's. It's a mnemonic. It's supposed to make it easy for you to remember, right? I remembered. The pleasurable form of happiness is probably what I'm best at, which is just living day to day, living in the now, looking back on your day over 24 hours and knowing that you had a good time, everything was cool. The second P is purpose. That means having your life connected to a goal, an overarching plan, a trajectory of meaning, where you know that what you're doing for the world, for yourself, for your family, others, is meaningful and valuable. And the third P is pride. And this form of happiness is when you can look at your life, look at everything you've accomplished and achieved, and know that you are pleased with the result, that you feel like you've achieved what you want in life. So we all have a variety of these three P's in our life. We derive pleasure from them differently. We're all a unique mix. But research has shown that when you maximize all three, you're the happiest. So if I take this guy at his word, I'm real good with the day-to-day pleasure. I'm happy with what I've achieved in life. I got the pride, I got the pleasure. My purpose, well, that's kind of a new thing for me. I've developed a purpose. Part of that new purpose that I've developed is to help others. It's part of why I even do these stories. So, and I can testify, coming down from the mountain, that I am much happier having this kind of purpose. Later in the book, he gives some practical examples of how certain activities fulfill all three of those forms of happiness. And go figure, the thing that I told you to do yesterday, I hadn't read this book yet. Well, that's one that fulfills all three. Yes, it turns out that trying to help your friends will help you with your pride, your purpose, and your pleasure. So this is why you might have some crazy results with it like I did. It really revolutionized my life.
Happiness to me is having a point-and-shoot camcorder, a novice video editing background, and the determination to provide a clear-cut message in this format within a platform that has a substantial user base, and to try to lead that user base to a website in which I have had enough of it being so wrongfully disgraced. MySpace makes me happy, like Pharrell in Despicable Me 2. MySpace gives me a reason to don't worry and be happy, like Bobby McFerrin. MySpace makes me want to shout the words, "Oh happy day," to the heavens, like the Edwin Hawkins singers. I hope that when you decide to give MySpace another chance, we could be happy together like the Turtles. That is, if you want to be happy like Jimmy Soul. But who says happiness comes easy? As a matter of fact, in order for you to accomplish the task of being able to say, "You've made me so very happy," it would require blood, sweat, and tears. And also mercy. Because mercy means that love can make you happy. It makes me happy to the point that I want to sing like Drake Bell. Whether you're celebrating a happy birthday Sweet 16 like Neil Sedaka, or you decide to book a suite at Hotel Happiness like Brooke Benton, I've made it my personal mission to give MySpace an audience of shiny, happy people like REM. And as passionate as I have been in the last half-decade of promoting my advocacy for MySpace, I want nothing more than for this objective of mine to show the world a more positive outlook of MySpace to end. I've been doing this for years with absolutely 100% faith and a 0% success rate, even when being given many lame-ass excuses to spend my time talking about something else. I don't want to have another reason to continue doing this year after year, but there's something inside of me that tells me to keep moving forward with this. The response I've seen from people both here in the United States and overseas that offer up their 2 cents without hesitation on their standpoint of MySpace.com is like that of a breakup song from Avril Lavigne, in which the lyrics of the song in question are quoted as, "You were everything, everything that I wanted. We were meant to be, supposed to be, but we lost it." And all of the memories so close to me just fade away. All this time you were pretending. So much for my happy ending.